Okay, great win for the Tigers. Let me first just say this, 4 things. One, our players. I mean, everyone who played and or who didn't play was just absolutely outstanding. Was awesome. Absolutely outstanding, awesome. The energy was tremendous. So proud of those guys. Secondly, my whole staff. I mean, my entire staff was absolutely just tremendous, putting the game plan together, helping getting the guys, keep them upbeat, just keeping them energized. So much credit goes to my staff. Thirdly is the fans. Obviously, I mean, they just helped us will us to the victory again, especially when we were down 8 late. Down, and it was literally 6-on-5 again because of our fan base, because of the fans were so loud. And then the last thing, I just want to give tremendous recognition, obviously Louisville, which is obviously an elite team, and Coach Pitino, one of the greatest in the history of the game ever to coach. So, and that's a great team that we played, and so to be able to win a game like that, that's a big time win. So. Great bounce back for the guys. I mean, that's not easy to do after a tough loss on Thursday. But to bounce back like that today, just so proud of our young men. I used the word resilient in the postgame there. Just they're resilient to be able to bounce back like that against a great team, a great team that's coached by one of the greatest coaches in the history of all of sport. And as my pin says here, God bless the United States of America. So there you go.
Coach, just talk about the run there, 15-1 to close the game, and you called the timeout. What did you say to get the guys going and make this thing end the way it did?
Well, we called a timeout. I just told the guys we're winning this game. Guys, we were down 9 against Gonzaga late, and we found a way to win. We were down down 6 with under 5 minutes to go against Louisville at Louisville, and we found a way to win. We were down 8 late to LSU. We found a way to win. We were down late against Oklahoma State the second time. We found a way to win, and we got to do the same thing here. And we're just going to have to dig in and get stops. And just by the law of averages, and I know people are tired of me saying it, but it's the truth. And when you make shots, that you're going to win games. And we made three-point shooting today, 6 for 9. We shot 67% from three-point range. Louisville was 4 of 23. They shot 17%. When the shots go in like Hancock shot, Hancock's the most outstanding player, the ball, he's wide open, it just rims out. It's just a lucky break Memphis advantage. You know what I mean? And that's what happens. That's how fine of a line the game is. Where then we came down and Chris hit a 3 in the corner. Mike gets fouled. He hits some free throws, and Chris hits the 3 at the top of the key. So just a heck of a deal to be able to do that. But that's what happens. The law of averages. Sometimes things work your way, and today it worked our way. And that's just how it is. That fine of a line.
Josh, when they made their run, they went inside to Harrell, and then at the end, when you made yours, they couldn't really get the ball into him. Was that a credit to the ball pressure of your guards, you think, or anything else you did defensively?
Yeah, I thought Harrell obviously was tremendous. He was great. I mean, he was just elite, a pro. But I thought we did it. Defensively, when you hold a team like Louisville under 40% from the field, at 39% and at 17% from three-point range, you've done a heck of a job defensively, and that was the big thing. And so we really did a good job late in the game on Harrell and the pressure from the guards not allowing him to get in there. I thought Jaren Johnson was outstanding, was outstanding today. I know he had a couple turnovers, but he played great. He really played great, and I was very proud of Chris Crawford because he was not good on Thursday at all. He was not good, and and he and I had a long discussion yesterday, and to his credit, he bounced back today and was big time. And not just by hitting those shots, but he came up with some big rebounds late as well, too. Michael Dixon obviously was really good, but our entire bench, even the guys who didn't play, like Damian Wilson, I think he's played in 5 conference games. And for him to be able to come in and give us some minutes, that was really, really important. But everyone just stuck together. Even the guys who didn't play, the bench was outstanding. It was just a total team effort. And as Lamar Chance, my wonderful SID, and I think the best SID in the country, there's no question. And you can debate that on radio, but in my book, I got your back, Lamar. You're the best SID in the country. He even said that first season sweep of Louisville since 96, 97. So that's a great thing, which I was so proud of our young men. And And it was great with Larry Keenan having his jersey retired. I know they honored George Klein. So it was a good Saturday for everybody.
Josh, you briefly mentioned Michael Dixon Jr. He took that loss at Houston very emotionally after the game, and we know how passionate he is. He seemed to will this team down the stretch, play off the crowd, kind of direct the crowd, when to be quiet, when to be loud. And he just has the ice water in his veins, and he helped you win this game today.
Well, Michael was great, and he's been playing really well as of late. I mean, these last few weeks, I think he's understanding about what my expectations are. He's getting a comfortable feel of the offense, the defense, his teammates. And he knew, and I think everyone understood. We probably, we were going to be in the tournament, but this puts you in. There's no debate now. There's no matter what you're in, and now you're trying to play for seeding. And that's what that does. And this is a big game to do that, to be able to do that. So, and he stepped up in that situation because, heck, I felt, you getting this win, now you're in, you're a lock, now you've got to play for seeding, and you've got to do your job, and that's where I was so proud of our guys, and also for a guy like Michael Dixon, who just really stepped up. But everyone was great, my assistants, my entire staff. I yell at Ren Baker on the sidelines. I talk to him. He's my guy as well, too. And this is not a better time to hug a win. And I know people don't want to hear it, but let me tell you this. Life is so short that I take the losses so hard that you have the agony of defeat because I never take things so for granted. I just the appreciation of stuff. And so when you win, I know people get on me, they think I'm crazy after wins, but I just don't take things for granted. I don't. And so that's why when you win, you enjoy it, and I love it. And no better time to hug a win than today. I didn't sleep. I slept last night. I didn't go to sleep, and when I got home, I was just, I take losses hard. It eats at me, the agony of defeat, and I tell people it's not healthy, and I've got to be better about that. I have to be better, but again, that's why I don't take a game for granted, and so I didn't really sleep until last night. I got a few hours, and then, but I am going to go home and exercise tonight. I need to work out. What's that? The thrill of there's nothing better than the thrill of victory. There is nothing better than the thrill of victory.
Josh, obviously you guys shot a great percentage from 3, 6 for 9, but the fact that you only took 9, was that very intentional?
No, it wasn't intentional. We kept attacking I thought we drove the ball. We made some free throws down the stretch. But like I said, and I know that there's a few guys in here without mentioning names who never show up in press conferences I'm just looking behind you there. I'm joking with you, Chris. Not joking, but I am joking. So that don't show up, that want to say a few things that he doesn't know this, he doesn't know that. But what happens is when you make threes, you're going to win games. When you miss threes, you're going to lose games. That's really what it comes down to. Okay? That's what it comes down to. So you got to make shots. So that's what it comes down to, is just trying to make shots.
Coach, a lot of people...
And that's why we won, because we were 6 of 9 from 3.
You won 22 games by being the 311th point shooting team in the country.
But we won today because we made threes. If we were in 6 of 9 today...
You won 22, right?
Yeah, but we would. Let me tell you, I think we would have been 29-0 if we were number 1 3-point shooting team in the country. So we've had to come through some games that, even with our 3-point shooting poorly. But I'm telling you, whether you want to accept it or not, when you make threes, you're going to look good and you're going to get wins. When you miss threes, it's going to make it harder to win. And I'm just telling you, like Louisville, they missed some threes. They missed some threes. Hancock's shot went in and out, and that was a break for us. That just that happens. That's just the law of averages.
Coach, there was a lot of criticism about the defense after the Houston game, and yet
they're deservedly so.
Right, and yet they don't make a field goal for the final 4.5 minutes. I guess just talk about how you guys were able to lock it down and ultimately win the game because of it.
Well, we had to defend better, Grant. We defended today, but Houston, you got to give Houston credit. That's a good team. They've got good players, and James Dickey's one of the great coaches in the game, a true gentleman. The guy went to the Sweet 16 at Texas Tech, and they've got really good players. They got pros on their team. And if you don't defend, you're going to get beat. And we didn't defend. We didn't have the right energy. They made big threes. They were 8 of 21 from 3-point range, and we didn't make threes, and we lost the game. Tonight, this afternoon, our defense really, was really good. We really defended. But, for us, we got to defend like that all the time. That's really, really important. We got to defend like that all the time.
What goes through your mind when Jaron strips that ball from Russ Smith and takes it the other way. I mean, that was a huge play.
God bless Jaron Johnson. I'm so proud of Jaron. Just a heck of a deal. And I'm proud of Jared. I mean, he's you know, he's been there's been ups and downs, but today, when we need him today in both Louisville games, he's been elite. He's really been good. I mean, the first time we played Louisville, that second half, he was tremendous. And I do want to say this, and I say this again, Coach Pitino. Without Coach Pitino, originally when we were in the Big East, without him, we don't get that opportunity to get there. And he was so big about advocating that. And every time I see him, I thank him on that. And so, you know, I just want to give that shout out again to Coach Pitino.
Josh, you mentioned Jaron. Is it satisfying on any level that probably your biggest home win of your career, two of the guys that were instrumental down the stretch were two guys that people question whether or not you should take them, and yet, you know, in this moment, it doesn't seem questionable.
Yeah, you know, Gary, well, I've more than that, I mean, the game, obviously the win, and just like I tell everyone, I'm jacked up, and I mess with you guys, and you guys mess with me and all that. But in the end, and in all of it, when it's all the lights are gone and all that, those, you know, having our guys do right is very important to me, because probably if there's one thing that I emphasize more than anything in my program is about doing right in everything, whether it's academically or off the court. I spend more time probably in that stuff than anything, and it was well documented. I mean, you documented as well as anybody about Jaron and or Mike, about, you know, what them being here. I mean, they have a pinky toe that goes off the street line. You know, there's going to be severe consequences, and they know that. And to their credit, they've stayed the exact fine line. And Jaron, Gary, has been, you know, I mean, I think everybody knows what Jaron's been in the community. And as I believe in appreciation, not entitlement, I tell our guys, that's one of my big things, is an attitude of gratitude, appreciation over entitlement. And Jaron has a great appreciation for a second chance. And he'll tell me all the time, and he tells it all the time. He says, Coach, I never want to go back to where I was. I never, ever want to go back, just because I'm so thankful for the opportunity. And even after games when I jump on him and he hasn't played well, he'll come say, Coach, don't ever forget that I've made it. In my mind, Coach, I've made it. And I'm proud of him for that, because he knows that how he's cleaned his life up. And so I'm proud of those guys, and especially for Jaron.
How difficult of a decision was it to keep Joe off the floor there?
Well, how about we have two guys with 3 fouls in the first half? Michael Dixon and Chris Crawford. Like I said, I got to play Damian Wilson. We were in some foul trouble. And but, you know, Joe's won me so many games. I mean, Joe's won he's been elite for all 4 years, and I'm a believer in Joe. I'm his biggest advocate and fan. It was just one of those things where tonight there were some things you're going with the lineups and going with the right mix, and it just happened to be the way it was. But Joe's an elite guy. The guy has won so many games. He's one of the very best in the country, and for us to do what we want to do for the long term, we're going to need Joe to be great every time we step on the floor.